And you're going to drop your chin. You're going to do a half roll down, just rolling down until your hands come slightly below your knees. Stop there. Roll back up again, keeping your knees bent. Bring your head up and straighten your knees. 2 more of those. So each time you do it, see if you can get a little bit more knee bend. Maintain that position through your pelvis as you roll down through your spine. Really having to engage your tummy to open up the curve in your back. And then keep the knees bent as you roll up. Bring your head and neck up and straighten your legs. Last one. Bend the knees, tracking over the middle of the feet. Drop your chin, roll your spine down. Let your arms come down. See if you can roll down a little further without losing that tuck in the tail. Roll your spine back up again. And bring your head and neck up. Great. Okay, so now we're going to change the movement. And first of all, let's just do a squat. So you want to feel that your thigh bones are rotating in your hip sockets. Not just, it's not just your hips dropping. There's a sense of opening out the thighs, rolling the thigh bones, the femurs in the hip sockets as you drop down, so that your knees are reaching over your middle toes still. Now, there are lots of options. If that's too big, just make your toes a little bit narrower, or your heels a little bit narrow. Okay, so then you're going to come right up to a straight knee. That's all we're doing initially. And the more you can get that sense of the thigh bones moving inside the hip sockets, the more rotation you'll get, and the easier it will be for you to drop. Opening up the hips. Now you've got a nice sort of width through the front, and a kind of a width through the back of the sit bones as well. And then feel as if you're going to pull your heels towards each other as you roll or push up. The thigh bones are rolling inwards. So the thigh bones roll outwards as you bend your knees in that direction. And as you pull your heels together, you're initiating that feeling of rolling them inwards. Right, so we're going to add a little bit to that, and I'll do this sideways on for you to see. I'm going to come down into a little 50% of what you did before. A little plie, a little squat. Have your hands on your knees, or your thighs, and we're going to do a pivot. We're going to pivot the body forward. So as you pivot the body forward, feel as if you are going to just bring your chest, your head, and your tail in line. And then we're going to pivot the body back up again, and then we're going to straighten our legs. Okay, so let's do that again. So we're bending the knees, 50% of your maximum, don't go too far. Pulling the tummy, drawing the ribs, and pivot from the hips forward. And then pivot back from the hips, and straighten your legs. Okay, sideways on again. Maybe see if you can go a little bit lower this time. Feel that pivot. It's coming from the hips. Forward, not too far. I'm going to keep that movement. Keep the legs as they are as you pivot back and straighten. So making sure when you do this that your body comes back to upright. Okay, let's try and add another layer. So this time we're going down into that little squat. We're going to pivot, and we're going to do 3 pivots in this position. Pivoting forward, with the knees staying bent, pivoting back to vertical. Now see if you can drop your bottom a little bit lower, open out your thighs a little bit more, and pivot, keep the chest lifted. And pivot, draw those thigh bones into the hip sockets. Last one, if you can get a little lower, do not too low, pivot, and then pivot yourself back, and then drawing your heels together, just bring yourself up, coming down into a kneeling position on your mat. Walk your hands forward. Set yourself up. I mean, you all know, I hope, that if you put your hands on some blocks, if you've got wrist issues, you know, put hands on blocks like that, that can make it a little bit easier. Okay, so you can get your blocks, or if you need to, you know, roll up the back of your mat, just to give your wrists a bit of an angle. Right, so set yourself up so that your back is flat, your arms are vertical underneath you, and I want you just to allow your back to curl into a cat stretch. So just a couple of curls. Curl your tailbone underneath you. Reach it out, reach through the tail, reach through the lower back, reach the middle back, up through the breastbone. And again, starting from the bottom, curl the bottom underneath you, and round your back, and then reach out, send your tailbone back, and hold. Okay, so the breastbone is pushed proudly forward now. I want you to do a couple of rocks back. So rocking back, try and keep your tail in line with the crown of your head. So your tail isn't tucking underneath you. And then forward. And try to bring your weight further over your wrists this time. Draw your shoulders down. And rock back. My eyes are looking forward. So guys, lift the back of the neck. Bring it up in line with your spine. So the eyes continually look forward. You're loading your wrists a little bit. Reach back. Reach forward. Just getting that openness through the hips. And bring yourselves back to your central position. Press into the arm furthest away from the screen. And hold yourself up as you lift the arm closest to the screen. You put your hand on your breastbone. Press into the arm and rotate your body towards the ceiling. Hold that position. See if you can reach up and out with your arm. Trying to open the chest. And then bring your arm down and we're going to thread the needle. Bring it through. Rotate on your axis as you bend the elbow slightly and rotate your body. Push to bring yourself back up. Bring your hand back onto your breastbone. Rotate. Now the trick is to lift yourself up and round so your ribs are turning. And then all you have to do is just open the arm. Try not to force it up. If it only goes to there, that's fine. And try and turn the ribs a little bit more. And then thread your arm through and reach to the other side. Bring yourself back. And swap sides. So, just pushing into the arm, the opposite arm, press the hand onto the breastbone, press up and rotate, breathing in. And breathing out. Breathe in, open, and see if you can now bring your arm up. And open through the chest. Very tight, very strong exercise. And then thread the needle, breathing in as you rotate. Breathing out. Now breathe in and open. Don't force it, please. Just see if you can reach the arm up. See if you can get that little bit more twist. This is really hard for me. I find this very tough on my shoulders. And then rotate through on your axis. Not too far, don't collapse down. And then bring your hand back down onto your mat. Okay, so we're in this position. And what I want you to do now is just take your leg closest to the screen forward. Alright. And you're going to lift up into a kneeling position. So your back leg isn't tucked underneath you. You've got your foot stretched out. Your front knee is over your ankle. You're going to reach your arms forward. Now make sure you're using your glutes and you're using your tummy. You're bringing the arms forward. You're going to go into a little lunge again. As you bring yourself forward, reach your arms up. And then bring yourself back to parallel and straighten this knee and lean over the front leg. your hip socket. This is a big hamstring stretch. And again, bring yourself up. All right, so breathing in. Bring the chest up. The shoulders are bringing the arms up. See if you can add a bit of extension now. Bring your hips forward a little bit more. Bring your arms and shoulders back a little bit more. Feel that burn in your back leg. And then bring yourself forward. Lean over the front leg. Try and drop the hip down as we go into a hamstring stretch. And bring yourself back and swap the legs over. So other leg forward. Keep balance. Bring your arms forward. So a little lunge. Then you're lifting the breastbone and the arms come up. And then forward with the body as the front leg straightens and you're leaning over it. And again, breathe in. So see if you can bring this hip forward a little bit more this time. Feel the glute starting to work, the bottom starting to work. Lift up, see if you can get a little bit more lift and openness through the front. And then forward over your leg. And reach. And then bring your leg back. Good. Hold that position. Right, so bringing your hands forward. Forward, forward. A little bit more forward. Okay. So once again, you may need blocks, you may need the mat roller. You're going to take your weight forward a little bit. Okay, now I'd like you to lift your feet off the floor and just see if you can get your ankles to connect somehow. And I want you to pull your heels in towards your bum. Pull your tummy up, lift your chest, and from there we're going to do a press up, but we're going to squeeze our elbows towards our ribs as we come forward. And we're going to push to straighten them. So it's almost like you're spiraling your elbows inwards to squeeze into the sides of your ribs as you come forward and press to straighten. Okay, all the time you're doing that, engage your tummy and get that squeeze under the armpits and push to come up. 3 more. Keep the heels pulled back towards your bum. Reach. And back. 2 more. Squeeze the elbows in. Squeeze the shoulders down. And back. Last one. Very warming. And push back. Lower your legs. And just push yourself back. Circle your wrists. Other direction. And then we're going to come down onto our mats. Lying, or sitting rather, with the legs facing forward. Okay, so this is where you could, if you needed to, you could have your band and have it around your feet. So you've got the option, if you need a little bit of assistance, to have the band like that. Alternatively, have your hands behind your legs, just grasping the backs of your legs. Your feet are once again about that far apart, about a couple of inches apart. You're grasping quite strongly the backs of your legs in order to draw your shoulders down. So you're finding the sit bones, planting them in the floor, pulling the shoulders down and bringing yourself up to your true height. Very proud. And then curl your tailbone underneath you, still holding strongly into the arms. Allow your arms to straighten. Good. Hold that curve. Allow your back to open. Just take a breath in. And breathe out. And again. Breathe in. And breathe out. And then just bring yourself forward. And roll your spine up. Do that one more time. Only once. So draw yourself up to your full height. Breathe in. Draw your shoulders down. Breathing out, curl in the opposite direction. Rounding your back. Breathe open up the back of the ribs. Breathing out to soften them. Now slide your hands a little further down the backs of your legs, or let your band get a little bit longer. Once again, breathe in. Breathe out. See if you can curl your tailbone under you a bit more and just drop back through your middle back a little bit lower. And again, breathe in. Breathe out, slide the hands even further. My hands are coming right up to the back of my glutes. And I'm trying to roll my tailbone under me and get my lower back to go down towards the floor. My feet hopefully still on the floor. And then slowly lower yourself down onto the mat. Bring your head down. Bring your heels a little bit closer in towards you. Okay, so just shuffle yourself into a comfortable position. And then with your hands, make that shape through the hands. And place that shape on your belly with your middle, your index finger resting on your pubic bone and your thumb pointing upwards towards your navel, so you've got it nicely even. And the sides of your hands resting on the top part of each hip bone that's facing the ceiling. Okay? So what I want you to do, and it's very difficult to see what I'm doing, but I want you to feel, first of all, you're putting a little bit of pressure into the hand closest to the screen to push that hip down towards the floor. So what you're going to find is the other hip will lift a little bit. Just allow it to. And then press it back so that it's even. Then press down the other side. So as you press one hip down, the other hip slightly lifts and back. Okay, now just try and think of yourself doing that with the muscles that are underneath your hands. And you're just doing a little rocking sensation from one side of the pelvic bones to the other. So you're shifting your weight, one side lifts, the other side drops, just getting a movement. Now try and do that without your knees moving or wiggling around from side to side. And we're just moving the pelvis on the end of the spine. Bring it back to center, keep your hands where they are. And this time we're doing more familiar exercise. We're going to do a pelvic tilt. So we're going to just take a breath, and as we breathe out, draw the belly down and feel the index finger side lifting. So you're tilting, so your pubic bone starts to tilt upwards. And then we're going to tilt back to center, so you're in a nice sort of normal neutral position. And then I want you to give a little tilt in the other direction. So your pubic bone drops, you feel a bigger arch in your lower back. And let's do that again. So we're tilting so that we drop into the middle back, lower back. And we're tilting so we allow our back to arch a little bit. Good, two more. So tilt back. Center. Tilt forward. And bring yourself back to the center. Take your arms, press them down by your sides, and reach up with your fingertips. Now we're going to roll up into a bridge. So as you tilt your pelvis, send your knees forward, reach them forward. Hold that position, reach your arms up, reach them back, and roll your spine down. Lengthen down. And bring the arms down. Okay, let's do that again. So you're going to roll your spine up, first of all, pushing your knees forward. Right, now lift your hands once again. This time place them on your ribs, just where the ribs lift up a little bit. I want everyone to drop their ribs more. So we're going to breathe into the ribs. And then as you breathe out, just sigh your ribs down into your body. Feel them disappear underneath the skin of your body. So your ribs drop a little bit. Then reach your arms up to the ceiling. Keep the ribs where they are. And then reach your arms back without your ribs popping up again. And then slowly roll your spine down and lengthen out through the tail. And as you inhale, bring your arms down. Okay, so we're going to do one more roll up, rolling the spine up. And then I want you to bring your arms to the ceiling, still making sure your ribs are dropped. Hold that position, and you're going to lift both heels off the floor. Bring your hips up as high as you can, without your ribs coming up. Bring the hips up, and now hold the hips where they are, and push your heels down into the floor. Allow your hips to drop back, okay? So once again, as you lift your heels, you lift your hips up higher, 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 higher. Keep the hips up and push the heels back down into the floor. And drop the hips down. Got two more of those. So lifting the heels, lift the hips up, 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 up. Hold the hips where they are and push the heels down into the floor. Drop the hips 2 inches. Last one. Lift your heels, lift your hips. Push your heels down, keep your hips up where they are. And now you're just peeling the left heel off and pressing it down. The right heel and pressing it down. The left heel, press it down. Try and keep the hips nice and high. And do 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop your heels down. Keep the hips where they are. Reach your arms back. And slowly roll your spine all the way down, lengthening up through your tailbone. Take your arms, and keep your arms where they are, and just reach out a little bit further, and then consciously pull your ribs into your body and bring your arms down to your sides. We're going to do a couple of those, just arms. Breathe in, let the ribs lift, let the back arch slightly. Breathe out, draw your ribs down, and bring your arms back. Okay, so this is a conscious movement of the breath work, deep breath work, activating your rib cage. So deep breath work, breathing in, opens the ribs in the front and the back. That exhale, that deep breath work, pulls the ribs down and pulls the lower back, or the upper back rather, to the floor as you are then able to bring your arms back. Good. Last one. Breathe in. Let your ribs lift. Good. Breathe out. Pull your ribs down. Bring your arms back. Take your arms out to a T position. And hold that position. Good. Walk your legs close together. So your knees are touching, your ankle bones are touching. And keep the top, so you're going to glue your knees together as if you've got a bolt through your knees and a bolt through your ankles. And we're going to allow the knees to go towards the screen. Now just stop at that point. If your top leg is sliding backwards, push it back so the kneecaps are level and the ankles are still glued together and the top foot is coming away from the floor. Turn your head away from the knees and look at the opposite hand. And then push your legs back until both feet come down onto the floor. We're going away from the screen now. Knees rock. The top knee is trying to keep level with the bottom knee. We're rotating. Inhale, exhale, bring your legs back to center. Bring the feet down. Other side. Knee above knee, ankle above ankle. That top knee is pushing forward. Push, push, push through the knee. Keep the waist the same length rather, on either side. And then back to center. And bring your foot down. Last one. Breathing in. And breathing out. Bring your legs back. Separate your feet out a little bit, so they're once again about 2 or 3 inches apart. Bring your arms up to the ceiling. Now as you breathe I want you to press the back of your bra strap line, your rib cage, down into the floor, the backs of your shoulders down into the floor, because we're going to do a knee fold. So I want you to feel that as you press your tailbone down the back of your bra strap line, you're not jamming your head in, that you create a little bit of torsion so that you can just float up one leg. Breathe in there. As you breathe out, just gently hinge the foot back down again, place your foot down. And again, breathing out, pressing your lower back, your tailbone rather, into the floor, just fold up the other leg. And lower it back down. This is all very baby stuff. This is all going back to the fundamentals of Pilates and really focusing on what we're doing. You know, there's great thought that goes into this by this stage in your Pilates career. That sense of using the breath so that the movement is effortless. Using the breath so that the lowering becomes effortless. You're using your spine and your abdominal muscles to hold you in place. Now bring both legs up. Squeeze the legs together. And once again, take your arms out to the sides. Palms upwards, back to the shoulders down. Knees level, ankles level, at a right angle. And bring both knees towards the screen, and at the same time turn your head to the other hand. Keep reaching that top knee forward and bring everything back to center. Knees go to the other side, the top knee is reaching forward as the hip lifts slightly, the shoulders not lifting. And back to center. And the other side, reach with the top knee, keep the knees level and even. Now if you do that, if you add that little bit of detail, the whole exercise changes. The whole exercise works on your obliques, on those muscles twisting from your ribs to your hips. Let's do that one more time. Breathing in or out. Back to center. Good. Now hold that position. Drop your toes. Slowly engage your tummy and lower your feet onto the floor. Separate your feet out. Lift your arms up to the ceiling. Take a nice big stretch back again. Send your fingertips, link them together, send them underneath your head. Drop your head onto your hands. Okay, from here we're going to do an ab curl. So for those of you who don't want to do it, just miss it out. Drop your head into your hands, drop your chin, and as you breathe out, just curl forward. Nice deep curl onto the bottom of the ribs, and then roll back. Breathing out, curl forward. Breathing in, hold, and breathing out, roll back. Two more. So feel, last week we worked with the band and we felt that connection from the head down into the shoulders as we push the head backwards slightly. Try and feel that, try and feel your armpits. So we're coming up again. Widen your elbows a little bit and press into the foot furthest away from the screen. Press down so that you keep that hip down and twist. Rotate towards the screen. Remember, it's not your elbows pulling you around, it's your waist and back to center. And the other side, it's your oblique muscles working. And center. Try not to lose any height. As you go towards the screen, push into the outside foot and back. As you go away from the screen, push into the foot closest to the screen and back, like you're pedaling. Two more. Breathe. And back. And last one. Breathe. And center. Roll down. Once again, lift your arms all the way back and up. Reach your arms forward. Reach them back again. Link your hands together. Put them behind your head. We're going to do a knee fold again, but this time we do it as we curl our body forward. So as you curl your body forward, lift the leg closest to the screen. Hold. Reach that leg out and curl yourself forward a little bit more deeply. See if you can lower the leg enough, not to the floor, but just so that it's lengthened in line with your hip. Hold the position to fold your knee back, lower your foot down, and roll your head and shoulders down. We're going to do the other side. So breathing out, as you come forward, fold up a knee. Support your head and neck, or bring it all the way down to the ground. Reach out with your leg, really reach, 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 and find your leg is pulling you up a little bit further. Bend your knee, lower your foot onto the ground, and roll all the way down. Okay, we're going to add to that. Take a breath in, breathe out, curl forward and bring your leg up. Reach your leg out as you come up higher. Now lower your leg to the floor, tap and lift, tap and lift. 4, 3, 2, make the tummy work. 1, lift your leg, bend your knee, lower your foot onto the floor and roll your spine all the way down. Once again, curl up, bringing the other leg up. Reach out, tap and lift, 5 of those, 4, 3, try and curl forward more, 2, 1, lift your leg, bend your knee, lower your foot down, and then roll your spine down. Then lift your arms up again and reach back behind you. Big, 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 big stretch as you reach the arms out. Stretch your legs out in opposition. Really reach. Circle your arms to your sides. Press your hands down into the floor so as if you're going to slide them towards your hips or the other side of your mat. Nod your head forward and just take a little curve forward. Sliding those shoulders down. And roll back. Okay, we're coming into roll up, guys. So if anyone needs to take their band and just put it around the base of their feet, like that. We're going to, well, let's all take the band if you've got it. So you're going to do exactly what you've just done. However, this time, because you've got a band on, I'd like you to push your heels away from you so you don't lose the band. If you're not using the band, just point your toes. Okay, so as you slide your arms forward, I want you to nod your head forward. Now this lower back is trying to drop towards the floor. I want you to try and curl your tailbone underneath you as you do that. Push out your heels and push the backs of your legs into the floor. And then roll back down. Okay? So see if you can curl forward a little bit more and bring your shoulders off the ground and then curl all the way up into a seated position. Push out your heels and as you breathe out, curl your tailbone underneath you. Roll your spine down, try and keep your ankles even and almost try and keep your heels in the same position. And down. Can we do 2 more? Breathe out, push out through your heels. Curve forward and release down. So everyone who's done class with me before knows that if you pad out your lower back with a cushion or a cloth, it makes it a little bit easier. So reach out with your heels, push away with those heels, lengthen out. Good. Now take the number 1 foot, which is the foot away from the screen, out of the band. And just lift your leg up to the ceiling. And this is an exercise you can do without a band just as well. But, so I'm going to do it without the band. I'm going to take my band off. I'm going to keep my knee bent. And I'm going to take my arms out into a T position so I've got a bit more support. If you have the band, push your elbows down into the floor. Okay? So I'm going to lower the leg down and circle it out. And what I'm aiming not to do is, I'm not aiming not to move my other side. So as I pull my tummy tight, I'm lowering it and I'm drawing a circle with that foot. So it comes down in a straight line. As I breathe in, I'm turning that thigh bone in the hip socket, bringing the leg up. And we've got 4 of those. Last one. Really feel the tummy working, the glutes working. All right, now we're going to do it the other direction. So imagine you're drawing a circle with your little toe. Keep that little toe pointing towards any hard surface you could draw a circle on. Bring it up. So little toe reaches to draw a circle on the floor and then on the wall in front of you, and then you just sweep it up. 2 more. Out to the side. I want you to feel the thigh bone turn in the hip socket, if you possibly can. Should be working your inner thighs. Up to center, lower your foot down. Okay, so you can do all that in the band if you wish. Reach up to the ceiling. If you can't completely straighten your knee, just keep a little bend in it. And we're going down towards the floor, circling it out, up, and back. Okay, so once again, this circle is being drawn with your little toe as you circle, and this hip closest to the screen is staying down, the knee's not waving around, the control is coming from your center, from all that work going on in your hips, in your tummy, and it's deep breath work. And back, okay? So out to the side, draw the circle with your little toe, down, up, and back. So your focus today is the movement in your leg, inside your hip socket. That healthy movement we need. And I can tell you there'll be a little bit of clunking for some people. Please don't worry about that. Try and use your glutes and your pelvic floor muscles a little bit, and that sometimes helps. Bring your feet down onto the ground. Bring your knees in towards you and give everything a bit of a hug. Okay, and we're going to do a stretch. So a glute stretch. I want you to put your heel above your knee. So your knee drops out to the side. Right? And then you're going to try and put your hands through. So if this is my left leg, this is my right leg. I'm going to put my hands under my right leg and draw the leg in towards me. And this is very tight today, it feels really uncomfortable. If you can't do that, just cross your knee over your knee, or if you have had a hip replacement, I don't think any of you have, but just draw your knees in towards you like that. Okay, so we're going to ankle above knee, hold. Okay, now, just to get a little bit more juice out of this, I want you to start to move the legs slightly to the opposite side, so away from the screen. Just drag your legs slightly over to one side until you're getting a bit more of that stretch in the hip. Then bring them back and lower your foot down. Okay? On this side. So you're putting ankle just above the knee. Hands go through the gap. Your knees pushing outwards to the side. You just hold. And then if you can, start to glide your knees slightly away from the screen until you get more stretch into that hip. If you can. Bring the legs back to center and bring your feet back down. Okay, then swing yourselves up into a sitting position and then bring yourselves onto your fronts. So the legs are reaching out in a little V, and I want you to take your hands back behind you, and your head is going to be turned to look towards the screen. Reach your legs out. Feel your tummy muscles or your tummy button just lift up into your body slightly. And then I want you to push your arms down, lift your head and neck,
just so that they come off the ground, and turn your head, just your head, turn it to face in the other direction so that you can put your cheek back down onto the floor. Let's do that again. So push away with your fingertips, lift, turn your head to face the center, turn your head to face the other side, lower your head and neck back down. Okay, 2 more. So lift. See if you can come up maybe a little bit higher. Turn the head all the way. And lower down. Last ones. Up. Turn. And down. Going to end up looking away from the screen, I think. So up. Rotate your head and neck. Bring your head back to center. Feels really delicious on the neck. Right, this time bring your arms forward. Have your head turned so it's neck towards the screen. Press into your elbows. Now I want you to lift your head and neck. You're going to press into the hand closest to the screen and keep your hips strong, and I want you to start to open out that side. And then just bring your elbow back down again. Turn your head to the other side. So you're starting to straighten one elbow and not the other. And feeling the hips are still heavy on the floor. And then pull the elbow back down. Turn your head towards the screen. Push up. Hold. Turn your head to center, look to the other hand, and push that one up. Lift your head to center, turn your head to the first arm, pull the elbow down, center the head, look to the other side, pull the elbow down, bring your head back to center. Turn your head to look away from the screen. Straighten that arm, keep your shoulders down, push as if you're going to roll onto one side. Then push as if you're going to roll to center. Then pull the elbow down as if you're going to roll onto that side. And then center yourself. Let's do that one more time. Straightening the arm, you're rolling onto one side. You're straightening the arm, you're centering. You're bending the elbow, and bring your head and neck all the way down. Lovely. Okay, so this time, just bring your arms slightly forward, so you've got a diamond press position, thumb and index finger towards each other. Just let your head rest slightly on your hands first. Press your elbows down, and then just lift your head off your hands, so your chin's not poking forward. You're looking down into that diamond. Pull the skin up of your tummy. So you want to really lift the skin of your tummy up. And from here, reach out with your legs. So your legs are pushing away from you. They could not be straighter. And reach out with the leg closest to the screen and just see if you can lift the whole leg off the floor. Completely straight knee. And lower it back down again. Engage the tummy, reach out with the other leg and see if you can lift that whole leg off the floor. Lower it back down. 2 more. Reach. And lower. Good. Last one. Reach. And lower. Now both legs push out. See if you can lift both legs just off the floor. Hold that position, reach forward with your other arms, sweep the arms around, reach back, now reach your legs out and slowly lower your legs down, lower your body down. Bring your hands next to your chest, let your glutes go soft, your back go completely released, wiggle the hips. Push your hands next to your rib cage, sit back on your heels. Let your elbows drop. Just give yourself a chance to release out position again. Walk your feet into that parallel position so the feet are just a couple of inches apart. I'm going to do a little check now to see how things have changed. With your knees tracking forward, just see if you can drop down a little lower than you did at the beginning of the class. So your back's still vertical, you're not tilted forward. Your tummy's drawing in. And then straighten your legs. Once again, little knee bend. Good. And then draw yourself up to your full height and roll down. And this time, allow no tension. No tension in any of the vertebrae of your neck, your shoulders, or your lower back. Just support them with your tummy. Drop down towards the